particular place to go or no particular time to be. Thought we'd come out, enjoy the sunshine. Painting some kitchen cabinet units, cabinet doors at the moment. Pretty dull job if ever there was one, so yeah, bit of a break for an hour or so. We just made our way to the outskirts of Menai Bridge and we're on the way now back up north towards Amlwch. Quite a nice and quite a popular road with motorbikes. It's a bit of a tourist road, this one. Most of the tourist sites perhaps on this side of the island, on the east side of the island. And it can be a dangerous road. We used to have many accidents on here, not so many these days, but yeah, it can be a bit dangerous. A bit chilly, down to about 6 degrees Celsius today. Nice and warm, even so. So this is one of the stretches which is dangerous because it's long and straight. We tend to overestimate their abilities in overtaking. We're at 60 already, so we can't really overtake. Not legally anyway. So yeah, whilst we wait for this bus to get out of the way, a quick word about PWR. I'm sure you've come across him on YouTube. Ex-policeman who does motorcycle training, also runs a very useful YouTube channel. And I often keep him in mind, in fact I keep him in mind all the time really, because when I was getting back into motorcycling after 30 years, I come across his channel quite quickly, and yeah, it reminds you of the benefits of considered careful motorcycling. He himself will be the first to admit, and does admit in many of his videos, that he gets sort of comments or complaints, if you like. His videos are a bit dull, and I suppose if you're looking for wild excitement at 120 miles an hour, I suppose it is, but for the rest of us, we just have all those hints and tips and the mindset that keeps us safe. So a shout out to him. Thanks for his content, really. Encourage anybody to watch it, whether you're a learner or somebody getting back into it. Maybe somebody who's rethinking their lives after having a bit of an incident. We're just coming into Parys, which is at the head of the very large sand flat which most of you will know as Red Wharf Bay, or that we call Traed Coch, so called because they had many battles there in the medieval period, and the Vikings used to come here, and all sorts of various raiders, because it was an easy sheltered place to pull up a boat. So the beach as a land, so the legend has it, ran red with blood. Although the beach itself kind of looks a bit red naturally from the sand colour. Maybe that's a more plausible explanation, I don't know. Pentraeth is a classic place to get caught for exceeding the speed limit by even very small amounts. Usually a speed van just parked up here in the just ahead of the bus stop. I'm trying to catch people exceeding 30 usually, not 20. But, yeah, a bit controversial because people are coming downhill. It's an easy place to catch people. There's very good visibility. I'm not aware of many accidents there. They will claim something completely opposite, of course, to justify their money making, but there we go. There's a place for speed cameras, and then there's a place that they're not really justified. Used to live here for a short period of time. Bit of a humdrum place, I found it, has to be said, but it's alright. Expanded a bit since then. These houses on the right hand side here are new in the last year or so. Houses for the masses. Not very attractive. They look good on paper and they look good when they're built, but a couple of years later they all turn red and green in the wet climate here. So keeping it going 30 because just ahead here there's a place where more commonly they sell potatoes, but slightly less commonly they have a speed van. Catch people coming just over the brow of the hill here. Doesn't look like they're there today. And they're into the 40 and the run into Pentraeth, which I'm sure many of you know. All these here. Oh, a bit of a fruity smell from spreading muck on the fields. That time of year again. Roads are a bit greasy as well because of the tractor traffic. Careful with that. Diesel being the biggest problem, of course. Right, so we're in national speed limit now. Yeah, it's a nice day. The wind's up at about 30 miles per hour. We're into wind more or less on this particular stretch. No real problem. Old windmill up there, renovated, gentrified of course. Just on the left here, generally speaking, I won't tell you exactly where it is, and a major discovery a few years ago, several years ago now, of a Viking hoard and Viking settlement, sort of reinforcing the sheltered and fairly easy landing places we have on the east coast here. And I'll put up a shot of that in the video. Quite important. Anglesey, of course, itself is an Old Norse name from the Viking era. The Angles bit isn't entirely clear. It could be Ongles, a Viking chieftain, or it could be just related to Angles. But I don't think the latter part is correct. I think it's more likely to be Ongles. But the A bit, the EY at the end, is of course very widespread and found across Northern Europe. Old Norse, that means island, and hence you get Bards A and Czech A. L Day if you go to Iceland. So lots of A's, and they're all islands, and Anglesey is one of them. So for that reason, I tend to prefer Anglesey over Ynys Môn, the Welsh version. I don't think anybody's got a clue as to where Môn comes from. I once thought that Môn being a bit like Mona, in Irish, which means peat, could be the source of it. I haven't really seen anybody discuss that in any academic discourse, nor for that matter refute it. So, there we go, at this distance in time, I don't suppose we'll know. I think the Romans called it Mona Insula. So that takes us at least 2,000 years ago, doesn't it? So here we are in Bentech, sites of many a happy fish and chip shop, and not particularly good drivers, although admittedly with a horrendous car park entrance to Tesco there. How on earth that ever got planning permission is anybody's guess. So from here on in, the wind will continue to strengthen, and we'll make our way north. We've got a fair stretch of 20 to do. Right, so that's Bentech done and dusted. A few minor twisties there, so off we go. Okay, diesel spells not so okay. You can be as confident as you like on a motorbike, but you're not going to win against diesel spells. Friend on his bike. So we're going into Menai Bridge. We've got the local lifeboat station, or one of them anyway. The main one for the east coast, the only one on the east coast I believe. No, we have the Parys of course, which is kind of down the strait, but mainly focuses on the east coast. And yeah, so we're going to go left. I'm not going to Menai, so I might put a video in for you about Menai taken in the summer. Fill it with a bit of hope as spring comes on. The sunlight certainly noticeably brighter again today. Stayed away from the mountains today because well, they're clouded out. They look like it might be raining there as well, or at least showery. So that's the disadvantage of the mountains. You get the orographic rain. this road's always bad. There we go. Right. Get out of here. This stretch also bad for accidents because people run out of road as they come into this sharp corner and downhill. And also people coming uphill doing non-ideal, shall we call them, overtakes. They can run out of road up here as well. So one has to be careful. We all look good until we don't. So the run up from Menai Bridge to Amlwch is about 21 miles or so. Get out on Parys Mountain and have a quick walk there perhaps. And a quick break, stretch the legs, and then we'll make for home. Keep in mind on the speed as always, in particular because this is yet another stretch where the speed ban comes to reside for a few hours occasionally, mainly because it's a tourist road and people are not familiar, and so they tend to ignore the speed limits, but also you get people commuting to Bangor and places like that, which are a fair way away, so they tend to drift off and rush as well. We're at 40, not 30. There we go. Memorial to the Morris family up there. I'm not sure what they did. They were bards or something. It doesn't seem that long ago, and it isn't that long ago, only a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and we're up in Amlwch having a nice warm meat pie with my son in the sunshine whilst he was home from university still. Soon be back again, I'm sure, heading out to the hills on the odd occasion when he can put up with his father. Better climber than I ever was, so yeah, I only hold him back now. It's the way of fathers, isn't it? Okay, so what do we have? Bit of a bad camber there. Well, the car behind me behaving himself quite well. Not been impatient in the 20s, and he's not running up behind, so fair play. There's not many of them around. So here we go. Now we can step on the gas just a little bit more. Why the 40 is that long, but there we go, it is. Just in the distance, Parys Mountain. traffic, and there we are as I speak. Yeah, I can feel the wind now. The coast's only a couple of miles away of that. North-easterly today. Back down into the 40, and yet another hotspot for catching speeding motorists, usually on the opposite carriageway, but not always. The war memorial there with rather peculiar black cutouts that they have of soldiers. It always reminds me of the IRA snipers active here sort of mural for some reason. And there is the sea. And on a clear day you can see the Isle of Man, which spans about 30 degrees as it looks from here. Only about 42 miles, I think, distant from this point here. Always kind of beckons you to go and visit, although I've only ever been there once, and that was on a research ship I was working on. Only overnight, but we had to. It was up in Ramsey, which, as anybody who's been there will know, has a tidal harbour. And of course we got there at the wrong time, so we had to wait for several hours for the tide to come up before we could go in. So yeah, we had I remember a very nice chicken curry that Maldwin, the steward, made for us. Poor Maldwin, I'm not sure if he's still with us anymore, but yeah, the memorable chicken curry. Amlwch, small town, a couple of thousand people I guess. It was famous in the 19th century for being Wales's healthiest town, benefiting from all the sea air, and even though work around here, the work at sea and in the copper mine just up the road, harsh. Apparently very good. I suppose if you look at the subsets of people who worked on the mountain, smashing rocks and digging out the copper, I suppose they would have had not quite such a happy time of it, but I mean, it's a very harsh place to work. Very, very, very windy. Even in summer it can be very windy, but winter, oh, that's pretty exposed. And I should know because we lived on this mountain for 13 years before moving on, which was about the right thing to do. Kids getting older, they were moving around to their friends. Faster, cheaper, and easier. Folks, Parys Mountain. Sorry if the audio is a bit muffled, my mouth is in the cravat, but at least I'm warm and I can carry on talking. Trying to rest on the way home. Park it into wind. Now then, what's going to happen there? There's something going to try and squeeze in, aren't they? So this will be awkward. Yeah, the man is directly ahead. You can see the ferry from Dublin looking across, which tells me it's about 20 past 1 or something like that. Catch you later. Okay, that was Parys Mountain in yeah, more of a northerly, just a slightly east of north wind today. Pretty cool, but there's a definite air of spring in the sunlight. The old derrick there's an old shaft now flooded that was dug in the 1980s, I think. Goes down below sea level, I believe. There's talk of reopening, but yeah, we've had talk before, so we'll see. People on the right hand side there recently lost their new shed, metal shed that blew away in the storm, whatever it was, Dara, wasn't it?